Hello, I am back. Promise this is the last time today. More from me tomorrow, though, folks. More from me tomorrow. Right. Got somebody very special to introduce you to now. This is another guest expert within Velocity. I've really got to say this slowly to say it properly. This is our nervous system strategist. And that's probably very easy for most people to say, but just having those S's together was just like, I didn't want to trip up. So, nervous system strategist. Right. Without further ado, here's Georgie Shear.
You got more S's. You got Georgie Shear's nervous system strategist. I have to say it all the time. Hello.
Can you say it quickly, though?
No. No, I can't. It's dysregulated.
I may tweak this as we go. She may become unknowingly a nervous regulation coach, or anything could come out of my mouth during this, but we get the gist. We get the gist.
You get the gist. That's what I do, yeah.
Georgie, they probably don't get the gist, you know. They might not have a clue what a nervous system strategist does. So I thought I'd invite you on for a little chat so you can tell us what you do. How does that sound?
So your nervous system is a part of your body. It's a physiological thing. It's a real thing. The nervous system is a really complex range of neurons. It connects your brain to your spine, and every single organ and mechanism. It controls everything you do. The part I work with you on is the autonomic nervous system. That is the bit. There are two branches to it. I won't get scientific. The autonomic bit is the bit that just happens automatically. It's the bit that works like your heartbeat, when you blink, all those kind of things. It also controls, your reactions to things or your emotions. Its function in our bodies is to keep us alive, to keep us safe. And it's been within us through evolution through millions and millions of years. Okay.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a database. Well, it is. It's a database of every single experience you have ever been through. And at any one moment, we have something called neuroception, and this is something scanning for danger in like milliseconds, right? All it is doing without you knowing is looking to check you're safe. So even now, we're all doing it naturally. Am I safe in this environment? Is this safe for me? And based on past experiences, anything we've gone through in our lives, it will make us act in accordance to that. So if our bodies feel safe, our nervous system feels regulated. When you're regulated, you feel calm, happy, life feels in flow, you can think clearly, you're creative.
What is this?
What is this magical mystery? But this is something we've, in reality, this is something we all walk around with daily. Now, this is the entrepreneurial world, right? And the world we live in today. We have so much external stimuli and so much pressure on us and so much to be doing all the time, with the internet and so much access to information. We're only supposed to have access to the information from our small little village, right? That is really dysregulating on our nervous system. It feels unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, our nervous system has evolved to keep us safe from danger, like an approaching lion or something like that, but we don't find many of those in cities in the lives we live now. But that same feeling of danger is produced in the stresses of everyday life. And that puts our body into a system you will have heard, fight or flight.
Yeah.
It puts us into our sympathetic nervous system, which is mobilized, and it's that do energy. Got to keep on top of it. Got to keep these plates spinning. Even when you've finished your to-do list or you've done your jobs for the day, it's like, what's going to go wrong? It's high alert. That state, I won't get too scientific, I promise, but just to explain this, I just think it's really useful because then you understand how your body works.
Yeah.
That state releases certain chemicals in the body that allow us to fight or flight. When we're doing that, our bodies are really, really clever. Our nervous systems are really clever. So they need all that energy to either fight or run, basically. So that energy is borrowed from all the places in our body that aren't needed. So clear, rational thinking, don't really need that. Don't really need our digestive systems if we're going to run or flee. You understand what I'm saying? So all that energy goes into our heart and lungs and the areas needed to do that. So when we as entrepreneurs are in this stress state, we actually can't do all the things that we need to do to grow our businesses and look after ourselves people understand you will suffer digestive issues when you're stressed.
Yeah.
I've just explained to you why, because the blood flow is taken away from those areas. It's
I
not
never
needed.
knew that. I literally never knew that.
You can't sleep properly because of all those chemicals that are ready to fight. They're all swirling around your body, and we are creating that all the time in this stressful life that we're living. And by doing that, our clear thinking brain that we really need to run our businesses just can't function because it's not switched on. Now, I'm not trying to like scare you, because this is a really
Can you see me
powerful.
face? I'm like, this is
It's
me.
wonderful. It's so exciting. Honestly, when I learned about all this, I come from a real history of long enduring anxiety and panic attacks. So this, for me, learning that is not something to be scared of. It's a signal from my own body. Your nervous system, all it's doing is being kind and trying to keep you alive. So when it's sending you those signals, it's telling you you're dysregulated. We're not happy here. We don't feel safe here. Or there are ways to make yourself feel safe. And when you do feel safe, conversely to all that stress and the shutting down of the prefrontal cortex, when your body feels safe, that is when you can connect to your rational thinking brain. You can feel your life that you're living. You can feel like, I'm really enjoying this. This must be like this is why Velocity was so aligned to me. I'm like creating a life that feels wonderful to you, because we're all different, and feels safe and feels like something you want. So all my clients come to me, they're like, great businesses, I've forgotten how to enjoy it. I'm not enjoying it anymore. You know, what's the point? Getting in touch with your own nervous system and learning what is regulation. What does regulation feel like in my body? What does dysregulation feel like in my body? And learning how to get from that dysregulated state back into regulation is just,
brilliant. I think it's
so powerful.
If I'm looking like starry-eyed, I'm like so interested in what you're saying, because I guess this feels and looks very different for everybody, right? They're going to feel different things. Because even when you say that, I think, well, it's definitely a not enjoying my business or my work. It's nothing like that. But I can definitely feel that my body can go into this fight or flight state, you know. I can put some of that down to be neurodivergent, and I'm just in a more heightened state, you know, anyway. But this is so interesting that there are like techniques that can bring you,
it's not even, and I want to make really
calm person, you know. I just don't even think my husband to think, what the hell? Because I'm so wired all the time.
Yeah, but honestly, my daughter's neurodivergent as well. And it's so interesting because the overstimulation of the nervous system, you can see it happen. And you can see with stimming, it's really interesting because this is getting rid of that. Your body is really clever. It knows what to do. So when all these chemicals build up and you are overstimulated and your nervous system is dysregulated, I'm not going to go into it all now. There's several different states that you can go into. That is when you're in your sympathetic, and it's mobility, it's needing to move or do. So that's what stimming is. It's naturally taking over and getting rid of that energy it needs to get rid of. It's just so clever.
It's so clever. So I'm guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to say something that's incorrect, but this is obviously going to be amazing for any entrepreneur, but this is going to be like particularly fabulous, I think, for our neurodivergent entrepreneurs, because I can just tell from what you're saying, because I'm parenting neurodivergent children as well. So I see it all in like coming out in lots of different ways.
You do. And I think, Abby, when you tune into this, it's like you're making a connection back to you again, and you start seeing it in your children, and you can actually watch. So just to explain, this is not like another to-do list. When you're learning about your nervous system, it's not, oh God, how many more things have I got to fit in my day? Now I've got to look after my body, and I've got to look after my mind. And it's not that.
God damn it. I've got to look after your nervous system now.
You know what I mean? It's like another thing I've got to think of, but it isn't. That is not what it is. This is about feeling, not doing. And that is the total different thing about the nervous system. This is from the inside out. This is recognizing how you're feeling at any one time. And of course, there are tools that you can use to regulate your nervous system, of course. But when you start learning how to do that and you spend more time in a regulated state, you actually get more connected back to who you really are, as in you can feel oh, I'm feeling comfortable in this. This is something that aligns with who I am. Oh, look, my business is starting to really do well in that area because I'm doing what feels comfortable and safe in my own body. And likewise with your children, you start recognizing with them where you might have shouted at one time, you recognize it as overstimulation, as dysregulation, rather than, oh, they're playing up, or you recognize they're not coping in that moment. It makes you calmer.
I can imagine.
It's mad.
I can tell you practice what you preach, because you are like Zen. You
and
are.
I was not.
You are like I feel calmer just on this interview with you. You have got a very calming energy. So this is going to be a real treat, because you are going to be going and working with our Velocity cohort.
Yeah.
Every single month, I believe they're going to get a little treat.
Go in once a month and teach. Yeah, I have a system called the SHIFT system. So it's, when I teach it, it'll follow the acronym of SHIFT, and I'll teach the individual lessons in that. And it means that you really remember which each piece is, and it's progressive. It's like when you're feeling dysregulated, you go right back to, in your mind, oh, I'll go back to the S. Now I know what to do. And it's just, yeah.
So,
and the fact you said I feel calming, honestly, you might have noticed I nearly got a bit emotional then, because people do say that to me, and I never used to be. And the interesting thing about nervous system is our nervous systems wire together. They really do. So when you're in a room of people, you feel if someone's in a bad mood when they come into the room.
Yeah.
It's a nervous system thing. It's a real thing. That energy is a real thing.
Don't hang around me too long then, or else you'll go a bit more wired again.
Listen, I've hung around you, and that's so not true. And I said that, I was thinking about this before I came on the call. When I first met you, Abby, it was at Lisa's, what was it called?
Visible event, wasn't it?
Visible, exactly. And Abby came and spoke on stage, and I was actually at that point feeling a bit overwhelmed with the entrepreneurial world, thinking, but I want to be at home with my children while I build my business, and maybe I'm not going to get the time. And then Abby came and spoke. And she was like, yeah, you do it in your own time. And that is a regulated nervous system. That is.
You were overwhelmed. I'd only tanned one leg.
Oh, man, that was so funny. She tanned one leg.
Oh, mate, what a first impression, honestly. Do you know that? I'm literally sitting here now. I'm thinking to myself, how can I offer myself up for a little job in Velocity so I can come and listen to these sessions?
Oh, well, I'd love it. Yeah.
Oh,
and I just want to point out that dysregulation is totally normal. You will always get dysregulated. Yeah. That is your nervous system working. You're not broken. If you get dysregulated, it's working really well. Don't worry. We just need to understand it.
Is it the same though, or different, or similar, or connected to emotional regulation?
It's absolutely connected to it. Yeah.
Will it help with that? Because I feel like I'm just interviewing you for me. I'm so sorry, everybody, but hopefully you're getting to me from this. Because emotional regulation in this entrepreneurial space is a real, I think, challenge for a lot of us. It's such an up and down ride, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is the thing. I think it removes you from panicking about, oh God, I'm getting upset, or I'm getting overwhelmed with that. You recognize it as your nervous system in dysregulation. I am feeling unsafe. Now, those unsafe feelings very likely come from something during childhood, where the same emotion is coming out. And it might be, I always say this, when you see people in the car and they're sort of driving past and they're like, someone doesn't say thank you, and you might be with someone in the car who's going, oh, cheers, didn't even say thank you. And well, the person who's driven past has probably not even recognized they've not said thanks, because they're thinking of something else. And you're there. That quite often comes from something in childhood where you didn't feel seen or heard. And that same reaction comes up because it is just a learned reaction. What kept you safe in that moment. It's really fascinating. And it's not about unpicking old stuff from when you were younger, but it's recognizing. You will naturally start to say, I wonder where that came from.
Yeah.
Wow, that's that same feeling I had when I was. So the way you start seeing people and interacting with people becomes really different. You start, once you're more connected and understand you more, people naturally connect with you better. So things like making sales even.
Yeah.
Honestly, it changes the game.
I can literally imagine all the ways when you're interacting with other people as a business owner where this is going to be a total game changer. But even without the interacting with others, that clear thinking, that just making calm decisions, that I suppose that it would even help just being more decisive in general, right?
It absolutely does, because you are, but you literally are switching back on your rational thinking brain. It shuts down when you're under stress, because that is showing your body you are unsafe. When you're under stress, it thinks it's being chased by a lion. It does not need to think rationally. It just needs to run. It needs all that borrowed energy from everywhere else to get away. So we need to, but the thing is with the nervous system, you cannot tell it it's safe. Words don't work. It's subcortical, it's below the neck, it starts, it's not in your brain. So we need to show it it's safe. And that's where these tools and practices that I will teach you within this, and you'll get to know and you'll get to learn what works for you, because you'll feel it in your body.
Wow.
And show it it's safe. It's very exciting.
I didn't think this was the best thing since sliced bread.
I think it is the best thing. It has literally changed my life, and I see it with my clients. It is foundational. Why we're not taught this in school before?
I don't know. I'm thinking of my own children now and like the benefit that they would get from it. But I just think, like, when you piece together all of these things in Velocity that they're going to get, I'm just a bit mind blown now, because I feel like you're not just going to come out with more success, whatever that looks like for them, or with more money, or with a bigger business. I feel like they're just going to come out as different humans. Like, they're just going to feel so much connected to themselves and calmer. And
this is what it's all about, isn't it? When we set up a business,
I want to fast forward 9 months, because I want to get to the end. I want to see.
The way Velocity has been set up is the way I intentionally live my life now. I absolutely decided that I will go with my gut feel, in the truest sense, where I feel safe. I want to be present with my children. I want to help them. I don't want a single person to go through this life and not feel alive. And we can do that when we build businesses like this. It's exactly the pathway. It's looking after you as a human. It's a pathway. It's like, it's got I'm very excited about it. Very excited about it.
See, I told you you'd catch my energy.
I know. You see, I've got giddy now, and I can be very giddy. But I am properly excited about this. This is why I was desperate to come in here and teach, because it is the way. You can look at my Instagram and see this is the way I tell people. You can't have business and life separate. It's all got to come and create.
It's a blend. It's not even a balance. It's a full-on blend, isn't it? Like the whole blends. Georgie, thank you so much. This has been so interesting. I purposely didn't Google anything about this so I could hear it directly from you. I wanted to really understand what this was going to be about, and what an absolute treat everyone is in for. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see the results of this.
I honestly can't, because I can feel it. I can see the faces already. I can feel how it feels when you do it this way.
Everyone, this is your time. This is going to be your next 9 months. We want to see you inside Velocity. Georgie wants to work with you. Renee wants to work.
I literally cannot wait
with you. Lisa wants to work with you. We're all here to support what is going to be the most life-changing 9 months that you are ever going to experience.
It is truly life-changing.
It is. Yeah. So everybody, the ticker is going across the bottom of the screen. Hopefully you can see that. Gives you the link there to sign up, have a read through, have a feel if it's for you, have a chat to any of us. Let's get you in Velocity and working with Georgie. Yes. Yay, brilliant. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks,
everyone. I will see you soon. See you tomorrow. Bye.